Hi, I'm Elizabeth, a senior librarian in the New York State Library's Manuscripts and Special Collections.
And I'm Josh, with the Researcher Services Unit of the New York State Archives and the man who put the arch in archivist. And this is, historically not.
Where we weigh in on the beefs and lesser-known kerfluffles of New York's historical debacles.
On May 10th, 1849, New York City suffered its worst riot to date, with anywhere from 22 to 32 people killed. And it actually grew out of a rivalry between two actors, one of whom was American.
One of whom was British.
These would be Edwin Forrest and William Charles Macready, both of them highly popular Shakespearean actors.
Actors.
Okay, we're going that way. Macready, in his infinite wisdom, had decided to do a farewell tour in America, in New York. At this point, we're in what was some historians refer to as the Third War with Britain. Battles over Oregon Territory and unpaid debts meant that neither side was popular with the other. Macready came to New York, where the streets were split between nativist and Irish gangs, whose only commonality was a hatred of the British.
Why does everybody hate us?
Whoa, that's a whole different video. And of course, at this point, and really up until this point and no further, the theater in America was the place where the classes could meet together.
Theater, sir.
With the groundlings on the bottom from the working class and the boxes for the wealthy. New York at this point was split very badly along class lines, and the Astor Place was right in the middle with the Bowery on one side and Broadway on the other. And into this walked Macready.
Macready took the stage in his opulent costume, ready to play the heck out of Macbeth. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, the Scottish play. As he's on stage, Forrest's friends and companions who were in the audience decided to pelt him with rotten fruits and vegetables.
They were not necessarily his Forrest friends. They were just people who objected to Macready's cringing depiction of Macbeth. Forrest was a lion of an actor. He made Macbeth roar, which is actually probably not Shakespeare's intention. But he was definitely the American and had the home team advantage.
Yes, and so Macready, fed up with the antics of his American audience, decided to leave. However, some literary greats in New York City signed a letter hoping to keep Macready to stay and have him take the stage once more. Macready girded his loins, took the stage once again.
That may have been a mistake. Everybody was pretty much expecting what was going to happen next. The militia was out in force, the police were out in literal hundreds. They were able to maintain peace within the theater. The play finished. Macready took his final bow. The militia tried to instill peace. But these were New Yorkers. They were experienced rioters. When the guns started firing, they said, "Oh, blanks." And the militia were forced to use loaded, real ammunition. People started dying.
This has become less funny.
Yes, well, we knew that was coming. We'll never really know how many people died. The members of the gangs pulled the wounded out of the area. We'll never know.
But importantly, both actors survived. Macready got to go home to Britain and live out his actor life. As for Forrest...
Now, he was sort of into a decline at that point. This marks the end of when the theater really brought in both classes.
Theater.
And vaudeville and such like began to attract the working classes, and Forrest's career went into a tailspin. And, well, he lived out his life famous, but never quite as great as he had been.
Well, that's what he gets for pelting me with vegetables.